channel. Today I'm going to be doing my long-awaited, at least for me, my review plus swatches on the Nars Unfiltered cheek palette. If you're new, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And let's just get right on into the video. I'm going to give you some information about this palette. So there's two different palettes. The one I have is called the Unfiltered 2 palette. It retails for $59, both of the palettes. And this is what the other one looks like if you are interested. That's what the other shade looks like. It has like definitely a hot red, it has like oranges, but it definitely has some mauves in there and definitely has mauve tones. And definitely have that light shade. So if you like those shades, you would like this palette. It has bright orange packaging. There you can see better. But definitely not my kind of shades, but my palette looks like that I have with me. Definitely more my style. But if you and they both retail for $59, and the value is $150. That's the value, not the actual price. This is limited edition of them. Each pan is 0.12 ounces or 3.5 grams of warm to cool pigments. The Nars Unfiltered Cheek Palette sculpts, shapes, and glows with a comparable wardrobe of high-impact matte and shimmer blushes. The limited edition set offers richly pigmented, mineralized formulas for sheer, buildable color. It got almost 5 stars, which is really good reviews. I don't know if you can see, but it got really good reviews on the Sephora website. I'll link where you can get it down below. Get right on into the swatches portion of this video. Here's what the packaging looks like on the palette. I love, oh you can see me, but I love the packaging on it. I feel like it's so sleek and modern and like beautiful. The camera isn't focus on it, but it's so pretty and reflective, but modern. I love it. A matte black packaging that gets a little bit dirty on the sides, especially this too, because it's mirrored, so it gets a little dirty. But I don't mind. It has a matte black on the sides and the back, and then here's like all the colors on the back and all the information. Palette looks like they do have a big. You can see they do have a big size mirror. I don't want to blind you, but a big size mirror almost. And here are the colors. You get 6 blushes and highlights, and here you get 2 highlights. Like you can use anything for what you want, but 2 highlights and 4 blushes. I did try out every single one of these shades, and let's start with this shade, Conquest. I think that's what it's called, Conquest. I don't think it's focusing, but Conquest, I think that one's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm making these names right, but I'll put it on the screen. But here are a few swipes on my finger. I do have this on my cheeks today. It's super light. It's the lightest shade in the palette, at least for me. Here's the swatch. As you can see, it's very sheer, but with these blushes and highlights that they can be built. As you can see, they don't really look that pigmented, but they definitely can be built. It's a very sheer, I would describe this as a very sheer pink. It's definitely very, very pale, but I like it, and the pigmentation is sheer but kind of builtable. Here's the shade Built Up a little bit powdery, but it's not my favorite shade in the entire palette. Diagonal, so like this way. I think I'm gonna go this way, and then the bottom row. Undefeated. I think it's that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this one's Undefeated. Is the swatch in my hand. I do use this one as a highlight just because it's so shimmery. I do count it as a highlight because look at how that shine. Oh my god. But it's so pretty. This and Hot Sands are beautiful. I have this and Hot Sands mixed on my cheeks today. And kind of on pigmentation, but trust me, when you build this up, it's gorgeous. Built up a little bit more. As you can see, it has a beautiful sheen, but this is not even given enough credit. On the cheeks, it's gorgeous. I mean, it shines. It's amazing on the cheeks. It gives you a beautiful glow. It almost like it could be like it almost looked like it could be a blush on your hand. Like it looks like very like not that shiny, but on your cheeks, trust me, It's amazing. I love this shade. It doesn't look that special, but trust me, on the cheeks, it's amazing. The next shade, I believe, is called Power Play. I think that's what it's called. It's a bright Barbie pink, but it's kind of on the, like, you will see, it's not as bright as like neon pink, but it's still bright. If you like your bright blushes but you don't like too bright, this one's really good at pigmentation. As you can see, one swipe is pretty opaque. It can be built up and it can be really good, but that's one swipe, which is pretty good compared to the others, especially that light pink, but that one's really good. I like it. I used this shade once and I thought my cheeks look amazing and like flushed, but still have some color and some luminous glow to it. I like it. It's not patchy, it's not streaky. Not any of these are streaky and patchy yet, but the only complaint I have is with this one because it's a little bit powdery. I just call it Hot Sands. Oh my god, you guys know this is my one of my favorite shades in the entire palette. It's a highlighter, but it's gorgeous. I have this in the pink highlighter mix on today, and oh guys, this is amazing. Look at that. It doesn't even look that special when you swatch it, but trust me, these don't even look that pigmented when you swatch them. But on your cheeks, I'm telling you, they are amazing. Oh, this gives a beautiful gold sheen. If you like your gold highlights, you would love that one. I know they sell that in like a full size, just that shade. Or if you like your pink tone highlights, you would love this one. Hot Sands. Sorry if the lighting's kind of off, but here's Hot Sands built up. As you can see, it doesn't have like a yellow, gold, orange kind of undertone, but it's more on the natural side, and it has like a champagne undertone. This is gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. Mix it with the pink because it gives like a you don't know what color it is kind of thing. But this is gorgeous even alone. Like, I've been wearing this all week. I haven't been able to put this down. This is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite shades, or my favorite shade in the entire palette. Like, the swatches don't even get them like any love or pigmentation, but trust me, everything looks different on the cheeks, and these just perform way better than on the cheeks than they do on your hands. Next shade, I believe, is called Fame. Fame. I mean, this is one of the most pigmented shades in the entire palette. As you can see, it's one swipe swatch. Sorry if these swatches are very messy, but that was one swipe swatch, full opacity. I haven't tried it, but I bet Hot Sands for your highlight and then Fame for your blush would look amazing because they're both warm tones, so they would like complement each other. Only one swipe pigmentation. It's not powdery, it's not chalky, it's not streaky. I love this shade. That was one swipe and it is full opacity. No, this is not building up. I don't even think I need to build it up, honestly. But that shade is one of my favorites in the palette. Just the quality and the color is just everything in this palette, which is the darkest, is called Candid. I've been wearing this shade so much. I love this shade. It might look a little scary, especially in the pan and your finger. It might be like, that is so dark, especially for my skin tone, but trust me, you probably think it will look good on like deeper skin tones, but trust me, on the cheeks, it just adds. I think Fame and Candid are the most pigmented in the palette. The most pigmented and creamy, like that wasn't even built up for both of them. They're both one swipe opacity and the colors are gorgeous, especially if you like a little bit of deeper blushes of shades. I sometimes like them for the fall and winter, but definitely those two are the most like amazing in the palette. Do I think this palette's consistent? Maybe. I don't really know. I mean, some of the shades need building up, but I don't know if you would call that consistent because the formulas I don't think are different. I mean, there's only two shades that are a little bit more pigmented than others, but I feel like that's kind of normal in palettes. That was all the swatches in this palette. Yes, as I said, some of them needed built up, but Fame and Candid were definitely the most pigmented, especially the last row too, of more of the warm tones. I feel like this row has more cool tones, and this row is definitely more warm toned. But especially if you like if you like a mix of blushes, sometimes you like warm tones, sometimes you like cool tones, I think this palette would be amazing. But yeah, those are the swatches. I'm sorry if the camera angle changed a little bit, but now for this review portion of this video. Love this palette. Like I said, some of the shades are better than others. I don't think the formula is different. I just think some of them, I think it's pretty normal that some shades are better than others in palettes, especially they tended to do better with the formula on the darker shades than the lighter shades. But therefore, I honestly think this palette is amazing. If you're into, I mean, when I was looking at the other palette, I did not like it at all. I preferred, there was another palette, the Unfiltered 1 palette, but honestly, just looking at them on the website or in store, I ran right back to this one. Like if you have lighter skin tones or light to medium skin tones, this would be amazing to go for, especially like pinks and orange kind of shades. Good things about the other one too, but this one, I say the quality is amazing. Like I said, the shades are, I think there's there's 2 mattes in the palette and 4 shimmers, what I can see at least, because they have little shimmers in them. But there's 2 mattes, this bright pink and this like light pink. So if you like matte blushes more than shimmer blushes, I don't know how this palette would work for you. I'm wearing on my cheeks this blush because I haven't tried it since today, this shade. I don't really like this shade. I think the palette could work without it, honestly. I already did swatches, but I think it's just too pale. And on my skin tone, it barely shows up, honestly, because it's like almost the color of my skin tone. And I feel like it did nothing for my cheeks, honestly. I feel like my cheeks are so dull today. I do not like that shade, honestly. I can go without it. I didn't do anything to my cheeks that I wanted to. But the formula was okay. As you guys saw, it did need some built-in up, a lot of built-in up, and it was a little bit powdery, so like I said, formula-wise and color-wise, it wasn't my favorite. The 2 highlighters, I have the pink and the gold highlighters mixed on my cheeks today. I thought I would mix them because I usually just wear them alone, but I thought I would change it up because sometimes you look in one cheek and then you see pink, but you look another way, you see gold. I think that's really cool, so I like mixing them, even though they're 2 different shades, but I think they look cool on my cheeks. And look at that highlight. It's beaming. I love it. Oh my god. It's natural, but it's not, it's like bang, but it's not like too much. It's like natural, but it's not too bad. And you can make these super natural. You can go super light hand on these and make sure, like, if you like that natural highlight, you can do really light hand with this and just put a little bit on your cheeks and it looks like very natural. I just put a little bit of heavy hand, but definitely you could put this, you can make these highlighters super intense or you can make them super natural. They're very nice, and as you can see in the pan, the 2 highlights, they're like super shimmery. I don't know if you can see that, but like super sheeny and shimmery. Like, look at all that pretty that is. I feel like there's a good range in this palette as well because you have your lighter tones, but you also have a deep shade, but you also have a bright. So if you like some everyday colors, I think this would be for you, especially about these. But if you like to come, these are like 2 that you would probably want to go in your comfort zone a little bit. So like the darker one for like winter and fall, that's what I like that one for. And then this one for like summer and spring and summer. Range in this palette, and you have a little bit of pop of color and all that. So I think there's a good range in this palette. Very like sturdy, very nice. I don't really like the matte packaging on the back. That's the only thing because it gets super dirty. But otherwise, and I don't also like that the name's on the back. I usually like palettes when the names are on the thing for I can actually see it better, but that's really nothing. The formula, it goes on really nicely. I feel like it kind of needs some build-it up on your cheeks. The powders, I mean, some of them are just one, like swipe on your cheeks and they're full opaqueness. But like I said, the ones that need built up, like this one, or maybe like this one needed some built-in up. You have to build up on your cheeks as well, not just in the swatches. But they work, and I love that in a blush where can you build it up to your opacity, because I hate when you just do one swipe of blush and then it's like, whoa, clown. I like it when you can just build it up for your opacity. If you like very intense blush, or you like very natural blush where you can barely there, you can kind of just play around with these and see what you like. You can see if you like very natural, you could do like one little swipe, or you could do like clown if you want. I'm not too pigmented, but they're not pigmented. They're the perfect amount of opacity, like I said, where you can build it up, or in like how it's buildable. It's like the cheeks, like it's like the blushes, very buildable, but they still look natural and they don't emphasize my texture that much. Honestly, can you really tell? Like, they're very natural, but you can still see my highlight, and you can't really see my blush. You can't really see my blush, like I said, because that shade's very light. I tried this out a couple of days ago, the dark shade, and I was like so scared. I thought it was gonna look like big black spot on me or big purple spot. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be a disaster. So I took a little bit of my brush, tapped it off. You always want to do that with powders. Always tap off your brush, even if they don't have fallout. Make sure. But it went on my cheeks and I was like, oh my god, it's going to be a disaster. But then I was like, it looks stunning. This shade, I thought it was going to be not my least favorite shade of the palette. It's one of my favorites. It went on, it didn't look dark. It looks dark in the pan, but trust me, on your cheeks, it just adds something, and it adds a little bit of a glow, but it doesn't relate as dark in the pan as it does in your cheeks. I liked it. I don't think it was my favorite shade, honestly. Like I said, it was good, but it's not my favorite. I do look good on me. I don't really like them. I like more of a mauve shade, but that's just my opinion. But all the rest of the shades are amazing. I just wish they probably would add, except for that shade, I wish they added like a medium toned mauve pink. I feel like these two are just a little bit too bright, but a little too dark. But overall, I think this palette is amazing. If you're looking for a nice neutral palette for every day, if you want something natural but still is there on your cheeks and you can still be noticeable, I would highly recommend this. I mean, the formula is amazing. Like, I think this is definitely high quality. I would highly recommend this to you guys, especially if you like pinky tones or purpley tones in your blush, like me. But this definitely, I was kind of iffy while I was getting this. I was like, do I need that? Do I need that? But then I was like, I need this in my life. It is stunning. Even to look at it, even in the pan, it is amazing. I love the formula and the texture, and it's not too, it doesn't look streaky on my cheeks. It just adds a little bit of flush, but not too much, and it doesn't look streaky. It doesn't look patchy on my cheeks. It looks so nice on my cheeks, and I can't say enough but good things about this palette.